This show is brought to you by Directory.com, the safest way to hire a contractor.
Welcome back to Morning Brew with the Homeowners. I'm your host, Dmitry Lipinski, former contractor. I've been contracting my whole life. Today, I'm helping homeowners make smart decisions about hiring contractors and making smart decisions about their properties. I have three amazing contractors in studio with me today: Brent Simmons from Tennessee, Jonathan Brose from Florida, and Robert Cipella from Chicago. So today we have four spicy stories. As always, honestly, I have pretty good job here, job security at its finest, because there's so much scam happening in this country with storm chasers, contractors, con artists who just one reason or another decides start stealing money before they get caught. So my first question, though, I have a story about a storm damage scammer. This guy actually got a jail time. He has a restitution. He has to pay back a whole bunch of money, and I'll share details with the story. But first, I want to use you, my audience, as a poll. If you're watching us on YouTube, comment below if you think that public shaming contractors, bad contractors, helps, because this is a decision that I have to make. A lot of stories that we cover with you are already happened. People already have judgments, they went to jail, but I also have a lot of requests for people who are not paying their bills right now. They're just either did not pay a contractor did the job, and homeowners not paying them, kind of ongoing thing. And I personally believe that it's very helpful. I love when people call each other out for fraudulent behavior. Comment below. I read all of my comments. You can also text me if you need my help. 612-558-4881. Now, what do you guys think, really quick? Do you think the public shaming works, or we should wait until a court judgment? I feel like everybody's afraid of lawyers and defamation, and I think it's awesome. What do you think?
I would say if it's public knowledge, like you could start to talk about it, but I usually try to reserve my opinion until, some of the facts come out and evidence come out. Because, I mean, there are some bad homeowners as well as bad contractors. I'd say it's probably weighted the other way towards contractors, but, I would reserve an opinion until some facts came out personally.
Rob, Brent, where are you at?
I'm kind of on the same page. Like, let the courts figure it out. Maybe we can comment on like industry specific things that we see, but I just never want to point a finger until the whole case is over, just to be fair. I'm not the judge or the jury.
Brent?
Yeah, until all the facts come out, it's kind of a slippery slope, because, what if it's a homeowner kind of making up stuff?
Well, what if there's a pattern? What if there's a pattern and it's keep happening and everybody's talking and you can see reviews and...
Yeah, there would have to be some guidelines, right? But I kind of defer back to the legal system, and I believe that the facts come out there. But I mean, I definitely know some people that should be publicly shamed, but I keep it to myself.
Of course, got it. Well, I've definitely called out people before the judgments, and then system just shows that, I was right. I actually stopped quite a few earlier in their tracks. But this guy here, storm damage scammer, our first story, he showed up with a clipboard smile and a fake contractor's license. Now he's behind bars for scamming families across the state lines. This is the story of Stephen Ray Parker, a roofer who was once celebrated by local news outlets for community service. Turns out he wasn't such a good guy after all. Parker posed as a licensed contractor targeting homeowners, even often elderly, after Hurricane Ian. He advertised in Facebook groups and used a real contractor's license number to gain trust. He collected upfront payments ranging from $3,000 to $74,000 with little or no work performed. Victims were told materials were ordered, permits filed, but no legit work ever followed. Some victims were left with nowhere to go, including one family who lost a full FEMA grant Fraud occurred in multiple locations across Florida, Colorado. He stole at least $126,000, but actual damages may be higher. Parker was convicted in multiple jurisdictions of contractor fraud, theft from at-risk adults, and unlicensed contracting. Sentenced to 8 years in Florida State Prison and 22 years of probation. Ordered to pay over $100,000 in total restitution with individual awards, including $40,000 to one Florida homeowner, $10,000 to another victim in Waleja County, $3,000 to a victim in Port Orange. So, with all the hail that's happening right now in Austin, Texas, very common story where, storm damage expert knocks at your door, offers to help, with a claim, or in this case, it actually was even FEMA involved. So Hurricane Ian, people like, hey, let me help you with your claims, so bigger stuff. And I absolutely hate when they go after elderly people. A lot of companies, a lot of scammers actually target those. So, and again, even in a story like this, and I've seen it multiple times, if you gave your contractor a check 6 months ago, he's nowhere to be found, not answering, calls, like, yeah, you can take him to court. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. They will go around and hurt more people if someone will not start talking about it, right? You, as a homeowner, you have the right to ask, where's your money? Why work is not being done, why materials is not being delivered, why you're not answering your phone, right? Like, you gave someone money, like you can blame them, you can shame them publicly, I would say, before even, court, because if money is exchanged and you're not delivering your service, you are a victim. Just because you don't have a court decision does not mean that you cannot speak up for yourself and get some public opinion on it. And if you study bankruptcies, usually a company can be in business 5-10 years, and usually it's lost 20-30 customers who will share those stories before the company actually go upside down. What do you guys think about this story?
It's interesting because it says that he was celebrated by local news outlets for community service, but had a fake contractor's license. So, I wish he would have spent more time getting the real contractor's license instead of doing the community service. Let's do that after we become legitimate. But also it goes back to what I tell people. Every state, I believe, has a website where you can verify contractors' licenses. We share it with all of our customers. Like, check us out. You still have a risk there, but I mean, it helps to make sure they're legitimate.
Jonathan, you work Hurricane Ian. How common were scams after that hurricane?
Yeah, I actually lived in Cape Coral after Hurricane Ian, right? So, like, the devastation and everything that happened. So, I mean, this gives me cold chills because we heard thousands of these stories where people would just come in, grab cash, and leave. I'm actually surprised there's not more of these stories here in Florida, because with the DBPR, like, they're really good. I mean, with Brent's point of, like, if you're not licensed, like I knew guys that were friends of mine that I had come down that we put on our payroll to, like, help do repairs and stuff like that, but they had their own company truck from Tennessee or Pennsylvania. Well, they actually got fines because they didn't have a license number on there, and they would just sit at Home Depot and watch these guys pull in, even though they weren't acting as the contractor, but they brought down their own truck that had their own name on it. And so, like, I've seen those guys get fined, and just seeing homeowners get ripped off is really it's never fun. So yeah, so I would say that him getting 8 years was.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised by that. Like,
I am too.
It feels like they're making an example of him, because I've seen big stories, big contractors. We're talking about $100,000 here. I know companies who
Millions.
20-30 millions, and they're not getting jail time. But I like this precedent because this puts fear on the bad guys not to mess with people's money. Because do you agree that for many, many years, contractors would think, oh, we'll never go to jail for, like, mishandle money. It's not a Ponzi scheme. It's not a theft. It's just I mismanaged my business. Well,
I'm surprised by the time. You know what I mean? It's 8 years and the 20 years or 22 on the probation. Like that's a lot. I'm not disappointed with it. I'm just saying, like, that's not what you normally see. Like, if you look at other types of felonies, like they don't even equivocate with this.
Absolutely. When we come back, we'll finish talking about sentences here, but we also have a California con artist story. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.